Hello footies, and thank you for joining us once again for FUT in Review, where we've been bringing you leading analysis and opinion on all things FIFA and EAFC since 2019. Today's show is proudly brought to you by futcoaching.com, your number one place for you to get better at FC24. Also, if you want to help support this show directly, please consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/FUT in Review. You get a range of benefits, including exclusive merchandise, coaching discounts, and much, much more, including ad-free access to this show, which means you won't be hearing this very advertisement. However, we realise that times are tough, so simply leaving us a 5-star review wherever you listen to us will be greatly appreciated, as it helps the show grow. We'd also like to thank our Skybox holder, Peter, for his exceptional support. Now, let's get to today's show.
Loyalty is not a word, it's a lifestyle. A quote you can randomly find when searching the internet. EA also must have Googled it and gave us a special curated store for our loyalty. A reward, but one that feels like those emails where you have inherited $1 million, but you have to transfer 20,000 first. And that's a quote by Ingvi, by the way. In this week, Feyenoord has to play our frenemies at Rome. We actually got a Geertruida card into Future Stars. Did EA actually listen to us this Friday? But can Geertruida take away my anxiety for this match? And talking about anxiety, is EA getting anxious now that rumors about a competitor teaming up with FIFA to create a new football game are heating up? Welcome, footies, to FUT in Review, episode 586. My name is John and I'll be your host today. Daniel is having the week off, but I'm not alone. I am joined by the great Australian mid. It's none other than Shaq. Hi, Shaq.
Hey, John. How's it going? It's good to be here. There's a whole lot of things to discuss based on the stuff that we've been seeing on social. So, yeah, really ready to kick the ball around.
Definitely. There's so much to discuss. And, I thought how best to guide that in when writing a new intro for today's show. We had a lot of comment last week about the intro I made that way, so I'll try to keep that going. Something else I'll try to keep going is my voice, but it's getting worse and worse during the day. So I'll leave most of the talking to you, my friend.
That's fine.
How's life? And I know you definitely got something to talk about, but shall we start with a curated store as a loyalty reward?
That's completely fine. Look, let's just start there. So with the actual thing, the first thing I really want to point out that a lot of us are feeling is the fact that we're getting angry about something that EA is supposedly giving us free and curated. But you peel a few layers back and you realize what exactly is happening and why the community is actually up in arms is because it comes across as a loyal consumer that we really like your loyalty and we would really want to provide your loyalty with an exchange of funds where you give us some money for your loyalty and we give you a pack. Well, that's exactly like any other pack in the store. So I don't really understand what is going on there. It's one of those things where marketing gone bad. They probably, I think, look, if you take it from a business point of view, I think it kind of makes sense where they're trying to curate your pack based on the engagement that you've had. They could try and change the pack odds based on how you've actually used the game, how much you use the game, how much you've engaged with the web app, how much you've engaged with the game. I get all that. That's probably what their intention is. So they can up and down. Some people might get, right now it's all standardized, but in the future, someone might get a 2,000 points FIFA pack because of their spending, and someone else might get a 1,500 FIFA points back because of their spending. Who knows? That's probably where it'll actually end up, because this is how they're actually trying to curate it for you. And how they curate it for me would be completely different to someone who actually would spend thousands of FIFA points every weekend. So,
but that's fine.
That's fine. But
just don't call it loyalty packs.
Correct. That's exactly right. That's the bit that I think everyone has the right to turn around and say, yeah, take a step back. This is just ridiculous.
A bit.
Exactly.
Can you imagine, like, we have Patreon supporters, fans that support us to keep the show going. Or like, I guess you can tune in live, you can get the show free. Also, we make a special store for everyone else where you just have to buy first to get the same benefits. Hey, we appreciate you. It's so weird, mate. I see a lot of comments saying, hey, we used to get free packs for people that sent in, like, if you played a lot during the year and when footies came, you get free packs. this is replacing them. I doubt this is actually replacing them.
No.
I think it's just bad wording, honestly.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. It is really bad wording. For example, if they came up with the packs for you section today in the store and they didn't have any paid packs, they just had the free 10 coin and 30 coin pack for the next maybe couple of weeks, and then introduced a 100 FIFA point pack for 20 cards, and then slowly made that 200 FIFA point. That's probably would have been a small, simpler step-by-step way to get to where they're going. But I think Dan keeps saying this over and over again. The difference between EA this year, without having the FIFA license, with the fact is, I don't think they're really worried about how they come across anymore. They don't really care about whether they're coming across too greedy. They're just being, we want the money. We will take the bag. We will secure the bag regardless of whatever. And look, we're here. We're talking about it. What's going to happen after we finish the show? You and me are going to log onto the game and play. So that's the problem. That is the problem there. They've got us hook, line, and sinker, mate.
They actually became the FIFA of sports.
Of games, yes. That's right. You're right. You are quite right. It was synonymous with the actual association was synonymous with this game, and now, yeah, they are like the FIFA of the gaming world. You're right.
Sorry, that's the best way I could actually sum it up. It's like, I don't mind them having a separate store or this or a separate section. It makes total sense what you say. Just naming it loyalty is a bit of an awkward move. Yeah. I think there's better way of doing that. Like I gave this example a couple of times already, but for example, there's a lot of people playing Marvel Snap, right? We should do Marvel Snap podcast, by the way. But talking about that, they say after a month, hey, you've spent something this month, we've got something for you. And depending on how much you spend, they give away some free stuff. But they don't say in advance what it is, and they don't do it every month. So it's your choice to spend. So sometimes you get rewarded for, hey, your loyalty next to daily login bonus and stuff like that. I think that's a far better system if you actually want to talk about giving rewards to someone that actually spent. That makes sense. Much fairer and like, oh, this actually is an extra. You don't know in advance if you should spend before getting those rewards. If you don't spend, you don't spend. It's all good, right? That would feel something like that would feel much fairer.
So one of the things as well, I think we've all forgotten the fact that during the pitch note, so at some point when EAFC was being discussed, they did talk about a bonus, like a pack opening bonus, where the more packs you open, the better your chances of packing something good are. So how can they actually tally that up in a regular store, which has all lightning rounds and all these other packs that show up? It's really, well, it's possible, but it's hard to actually, I don't know. It possibly could be exactly the same, but the intention with the packs for you section is for them to actually curate based on what we're opening. If we open multiple thousands of FIFA points using this particular section, the idea is that, the gold jackpot lotto sort of system where the more you open, the more chance that your percentage increases. That probably, look, I'm being very logical and reasonable here. Yes, the A is done horrible, but this is what they're trying to achieve. But the way they come across is just horrendous. It's not even worth, like, there's no point in even giving any credit to EA for anything after the way they've actually worded the things that they're putting in the game. If they came around and said, how we spoke about you having some loyalty bonus where you actually open more things and we'll give you better reward, blah, 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 and start off with free packs for the first maybe 10, 20, 30 days, and then slowly, incrementally increase their weight during TOTS and things like that, sure. But this is just ridiculous.
Yeah. The thing you spoke about with the packs, it's usually called a pity timer, where, for example, they say in card games or cards or loot box games, usually they say, hey, there's a chance you get, for example, an icon. That's 1%. But in every 50 packs opened where the chance of an icon was 1%, there's at least you get one icon out of it. That's usually how they sort of curate those. Yeah. They have said, like you said, they have done it in FC24, but we don't know the logic behind it. So it still doesn't make much sense. In Hearthstone, you get a legendary at least once in 50 packs, no matter when you bought it. Like, it just keeps counting, and once in 50 packs you get it. You couldn't have 5, but at least once in 50 packs you get one. So stuff like that is much fairer. But I think most of the things is we get untradeable packs and we don't get odds in untradeable packs. So Who
Exactly.
cares? Or you don't get odds in reward packs. I mean, so yeah, they can get away with a lot of these things in between, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Wimi says in chat, PES gives people rewards and compensation for stuff they haven't even engaged with. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. If you just log in randomly at PES, like, here's a couple of coins because for the inconvenience we got, like, no idea what happened. Hey, thank you. And Adam says EA don't even compensate when they mess up. Where's our botched hero compensation pack? But we do get a separate store. It's also a fair point, of course.
That is fair. That is fair.
Shaq, question for you. Have you grinded out 21 plus games already for an upgraded
No
player?
chance. I couldn't care less about these players. I mean, look, great. Yes, it's a free player, yes. But for 21 games, I don't have the time at this point in time. And I think after the Team of the Year grind, I'm not really in. I don't want to grind this game for the sake of grinding this game. I think I've finally realized that I will do whatever I feel like doing whenever I feel like doing, and that's pretty much it. There is no point. Like if I really right now, we can get 4 evolutions done, John. 4 evolutions. So if you really think about it, I'll have to play 84 games to get these 4 cards, and a lot of people
At least 84 games.
At least 84. At least 84 games. Correct. A lot of look. For the grinders out there, I respect you. I salute you. I really, really, I take my hat off to all the people that have been grinding the game after the Team of the Year, after doing thousands and thousands and thousands of packs. You've gone ahead and said you need to get these cards. Brilliant. I mean, if you have the energy, nothing, all power to you. I personally don't have, and also I think evolutions as a concept for me feels very. It's become far too complicated and complex for me to actually enjoy it anymore. I've not been. Yeah, I'm exactly like you. I started off really liking the concept. I do like the concept, but I think what put me off was the fact that firstly they were providing random evolutions where a particular card doesn't fit him because he's got one extra physicality or some of those stats. That's fine. I can live with that. But then the part that really annoyed me was that there was some non-meta cards, even not even meta, non-meta cards that I thought, oh yeah, this will be interesting for me to go ahead and try to evolve. They're not on the market, so I spent hours trying to snipe one of them. Never could snipe some of them. So I could snipe some, like I sniped a Walker. I remember once, and I sniped like who was it? I can't remember who else. I sniped 2 cards that I evolved eventually, but it's just not worth the whole cycle. And look, if you're doing an Athena, you're doing all these cards, they are definitely good, but will they get into my first team? I don't think so. Is it worth my time? Not for me personally.
I'm exactly in your shoes here. So sorry, I can't really be devil's advocate today either on this show. I used Alaba. I did Alaba a while back. He's still decent. I complained there was no Geertruida Friday. Well, they actually gave a Geertruida. Like I was like, oh, that's cool. 21 games to upgrade my 82 rated card into someone that's not better than Cafu, which is my team. Like, I doubt I'm going to be doing this. I won't be doing this. This is for me pretty still promo, if I'm honest. Like, it doesn't do much for me. I think 21 games is just, it's a lot. Besides that, I see people like, oh, you can do those 2 or 3. I'm going to do these 2 or 3. Like, not bad cards, but I'll probably better off doing an SPC next, bro, which might be able to do easier. Like, spend half an hour on the app and I got that one instead of playing 4. Like, it's 21 times 15 minutes. I can't even imagine.
Look, you're not playing devil's advocate, so let me just play devil's advocate. There is a possibility of you using these cards in your leaving them on your subs bench. For example, your Geertruida, you just put them on the subs bench, and then while you're playing champs, while you're playing qualifying, while you're playing rivals, whatever, at the end of each game, just bring him on. If you're winning the game, that counts towards your player evolving. True. So it kind of makes it easy. So I get that part I can get. But see, if this was like 5 or 6 games or even 10 games, I probably would have considered. 21 games is a lot to even do that. That whole cycle of doing that for 21 games seems a lot. And if you also link in the fact that you can't do multiple evolutions at one time, it's got to be 84 times that you remember to do that. And again, again, no spoilers. I believe because we have a forward evolution, we have a defense evolution. I'm assuming there'll be a midfield evolution as well. So you add another 40 odd games, 42 games. Again, so it's 120 odd games that you need to remember to bring on these cards, and you can't do them. You can't do them multiple times. You got to do one at each time. So that's a lot of work, man. Hey, if I spend that much effort at my job, I probably would get a much bigger pay packet, I guess.
Well, it's my job, so I can't really go there. But
Nah, look, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but it's possible, but it's a lot of games.
some of them are hard though, like assist with defenders. You need to assist 4 times in the latest one, I think.
Yeah, so
You can't really stop them in last minute to just try to give assist with it. But again, then you do 4 squad battles probably, right?
Correct, yeah. 60 to 70% of the games you can just do with these players being subs, but the remaining 30 to 40% you still have to do it. Again, multiply that with 6. So when you do 6 evolutions, it's... But then I heard another argument where someone was mentioning that you can do these as fodder, so you can have better fodder in your club. I'd rather just go buy a 91 rated card for 100,000 coins if I need to. I can't... It's not really worth my time. Like, I think Team of the Year really grinded me so hard that I just feel like, nah, I'll just do whatever I feel like doing. I'm not going to keep up with everything. It's just not possible. It's not worth it, rather, for me.
Yeah, time is like, I mean, I get it's free, but at least when you're at my age, time isn't free. That makes sense. Sometimes it's just easier to spend some coins on it. And,
yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't think about tossing Geertruida into an SBC either. So that
There
would
you
be
go.
too painful. So I think I like your idea. Just put him on my bench, see where we end up. Because he doesn't necessarily have to end up being a 90 rated card, right? Against somewhere in the middle probably as well. So
True.
but that is a healthier way of maybe approaching it for me. See how far you can get. It's 29 days. Sounds doable. No.
Qualifying
one
and
card.
champs. Qualifying and champs. I think, look, realistically speaking, there's a couple of really good cards. Let's be realistic here. There's a couple of good cards. I think in the attackers one, there's Athenia, who's pretty good, 5-star, 5-star. But the only thing is, I just don't understand her play styles. She's got, I think, I can't remember her play style, but it's all, they all have the same play style. But as a winger, I think she's got the long ball, which is good, but then she's got the acrobatic, which is useless on a 5'5" winger. I think there's Okafor, the AC Milan striker.
Yeah.
And he's got some really good play styles. He seems good in game. Believe it or not, I came up against both of these cards in champs in different accounts, and Okafor was okay. Athenia was interesting to deal with, but not that hard. But yeah, so people have already done it and then approach champs as well. So I just salute to those people that have the grindability.
Nuts, mate.
And with the defenders, there's also Brobby. Of course, we can't forget Brobby.
We can.
John.
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure Brobby's going to be on your bench. Hey,
No. There's just no way. But hey, it's not a bad card. I'll give him that.
yeah, Brobby's not a bad card. I think in the defenders today, there's Sergio Gomez. I think from I think City. He's a good card, and then Geertruida. Probably these are the two standouts in my head that I can think of. There's also a Man United female, Malad.
Yeah.
That
true. I faced her
good as
this week, by the way. Yeah.
Was she good?
Well, the opponent wasn't that good, so it's hard to say how good a card is when you face it, I think. Sometimes you face a card and like, ooh, that looks an impressive card. Then the next opponent you face using the same card, like, well, it's all right. I faced Messi still a couple of times. I don't know why I keep facing him. Apparently it's just 0.7%, but I still keep facing him. But in the right hands, that card is still freaking annoying.
Yeah, I had the misfortune of coming up against Messi and Haaland in the same team. And both were first owner, because you could see that stupid first owner badge on them, and it was just annoying. It was really annoying, the combination of those two, which is a very weird and unique combination, but it just worked. It really worked, because I couldn't stop both of them doing two different things. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh well, I don't know one player we won't be seeing much, and that's a Richardson card with a French nationality. That card came out yesterday. We're recording this on Tuesday. Came out on a Monday, but it got pulled 30 minutes later because it's actually a Moroccan player.
Correct. And I feel sorry for the people that actually did the SBC, assuming that it was a French player, but the SBC value is not that high. So I think it's
35k or something.
Yeah, so it's from for the price, it's okay. It's not the worst, but hey, it is what it is.
A weird mistake to make, though.
Exactly.
But it's quite all right. Oh, do you want to discuss content or do you want to discuss competition?
Let's discuss the competition first before we go to content. Or which way would you like to do, John?
Well, I want to talk about a rumor that's going on, saying their 2K is, well, I'd say finally, but is getting involved in the world of digital football games. Namely, they might be aligning with FIFA, the original FIFA, the other money-grabbing company, to make a World Cup game in 26, which I've got a certain opinion about, but I'll let you talk first.
Look, I know what you're going to say, and all I want to say is this particular news really excited me, not from any other standpoint. I know look, I've played NBA 2K extensively maybe a couple of years ago. I was a huge NBA fan growing up. I used to play NBA Live, actually, EA Sports franchise as well. I used to play a lot of NBA Live and then figured out NBA 2K is even better. Played NBA 2K multiple times, did the whole thing. It's good fun, really good fun. Service, not so great, whatever, it's good fun. It's lots of pay, you pay along the way, it's fine. But what I'm really excited about is we finally have deep pockets trying to stand up to EA. And that really excites me. I don't care if it's not a great game, but just in the lead up, while this game is being developed, at least we know that EA kind of has a competitor. There is another person in the market. It could be a monopoly still in 2026, 27, but who knows? If FIFA and if FIFA and 2K manage to come up with something, at least there is some tangible hope that there could be something that could help us. You never know. We could get finally EA could take us seriously as consumers and think about, maybe we might lose our market share. So, I mean, compared to in the past, we've had other competitors, so-called competitors who, unfortunately, PES, Konami, they had everything. I used to huge Winning 11 and PES fan. They just couldn't keep going with the same momentum. I mean, how long can you play with Manchester Red and Manchester Blue and Merseyside Red and Merseyside Blue? At some point, you have to give in and just move across to Liverpool versus Everton or Man City versus Man United. So that was the issue with PES. But finally, we have someone that's got deep pockets that can get all the official franchises, all the official names, all the official clubs, all the official stadiums. And they make video games. It's not like this is some kind of digital media company. They're actually a video gaming company. So there is hope. And for me, all I want is EA to feel a pinch of competition, for them to think about consumers in a different light. That's all I want. And I can feel that happening. Your thoughts?
Well, I agree on everything you say. I applaud some competition. I definitely agree that 2K is bigger, actually, in financials than EA. So they could make a push, right? They did not show themselves from the most nicest side in NBA 2K. So once the PlayStation 4 version hit, it was the biggest, baddest basketball game around. The game after that was really good. Beautiful visuals, perfect gameplay, and actually some guys from EA hopped over to them to help game development there, and the game actually got pretty good. So good that NBA from the EA side they decided to stop that because there was no point trying to phase them, which is definitely praiseworthy, right? So they've done it before, let's put it like this, but not against a game as big as FIFA or FC24 in this case. But it's currently the second lowest rated game, the last iteration, available on Steam, with a total number of a 1.07 out of 10, which is really bad. It has become a bigger money-grabbing machine that the whole FC24 game currently is, and that says a lot. Plus, technically, it's bonkers bad. Like the PC version almost doesn't run. It's still the old gen version on PC. The servers are insanely bad. If you try to play from Europe at all, it's just crap. Peer-to-peer stuff like that. It's insanely outdated as well. If that's the biggest gaming, not the biggest gaming franchise, that's definitely something else. But the biggest sports franchise, and they're treating it like this, I don't have great hopes for a game, especially if they would release a game which is based on the World Cup, which is released normally as a expansion or free expansion during the summer where numbers are already down. I'm not particularly hopeful of the game itself, or I'm not particularly hopeful in the studio itself, but I do applaud the competition. So maybe if it just can make a little dent, I think we'll all be happy.
Exactly. And looking at some of the revenue figures,
I sound
NBA,
like an EA fanboy, by the way. Sorry about that. But I'm just trying to be realistic about game development in general.
as of today, I'm a NBA 2K, I'm a 2K fanboy because I want them to build or even hype up the biggest, baddest game that can ever be imagined, just so that our friends at EA take us seriously. And after the debacles that we saw today with the promo packs in store, the content for us in store that is curated especially for us as loyal customers, this is a really perfect timing for 2K to try and G up the market, G up the consumer base to actually think about moving along. And if they make a game that's on par with EA, which I highly doubt, on par with EA, at least from a marketing standpoint, hey, look, EA is in trouble. If just from a pure marketing standpoint, I 100%, it's all about how it's packaged. And NBA 2K is packaged pretty well. I remember a couple of years ago, they had a collaboration with Spike Lee. That was ridiculously well done. That was beautifully done. That was just those kind of things is what 2K brings into the party that is different, is really, they think outside the box and they can actually speak. They know what the audience wants. And Spike Lee, that kind of thing worked for 2K, NBA 2K, whereas they might find some sort of same parallel and do that with the FIFA game that comes up. So you never know. If they do that well, there'll be 1 year where we all move across for a while and then we'll see what happens after that. But at least they will grab our attention. That's what I'm positive about.
Definitely. But if you think that microtransactions in FC24 are bad, I'm just saying that these are the same developer, the same publisher that makes Grand Theft Auto. And GTA Online is by far the biggest microtransaction game ever existed in the history of microtransactions. So be a little bit careful what we wish for, I'd say.
I have to take you up on that as well, because I'll be honest with you, I still play every now and then. I play GTA Online with my brother and some friends. I have no issue spending money on that game, because that game, when I'm playing with a couple of friends, actually gives me enjoyment. We're having fun. True. I never feel alone. I never feel anxious. I never feel any of those things. I actually enjoy my experience. I think of it like I'm going to a pub. I'm not having a beer. I'm playing a game. I'm happy to do that. If a game is able to take my engagement and take my money and make me happy at the end of the day, I have no problem in paying. This is my argument about EA. There's a lot of us, a consumer base that is happy to pay. Just give us something in return that we're happy to pay you for. That's all.
That's an excellent point. And on that note, we'll be back after this break where we'll discuss the tiredness of having a gold squad. Is it getting boring? And we'll answer, of course, your questions sent into our mailbox. So we'll be right back after this.
You're listening to FUT in Review, proudly brought to you by futcoaching.com. Remember, you can help support this show directly and receive a host of benefits, including ad-free access to the show, exclusive merchandise, and access to our meetups, which this year is happening once again over in Crete. Simply sign up at patreon.com/FUT in Review. Also, if you have any feedback on the show, please follow us on our socials at FUT Coaching. Anyway, let's get on with the show.
Welcome back, Footies. Shaq, your first break with me in a while. How has it been?
Oh, it's been really, really good. I think my first break with you ever, if I'm not mistaken, because I usually do the show with Daniel. I think I've done a show with you a while ago, but I don't remember the break being this good. I think we're getting some really good goodies in the break room, which is good. Like it.
Yeah. Talk about goodies. You should really pay attention to our socials soon, because we're heading into episode 600. And I can promise you, there's definitely goodies to be won there already. So hey, soon. And now everyone in chat is like, what's going on? Shaq's actually the only one that knows so far. So hey,
That's
that's the benefit of being in the show with me on a Tuesday.
That's exactly right. That's the perks of discussing stuff with the boss man.
That feels too bad. Anyways, how's your gold team doing, and are you already getting bored of it?
Okay, this is something. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about how to frame this, and please bear with me because this is something that's really is getting to it's starting to annoy me a lot. So we've all been there. We all have loved gold teams, and we've all been like, oh, a gold team does. We were using gold teams in say Jan, Feb after team of the year. If you happen to back a team of the year, you still have the gold people around them. You know what? If it ain't broken, you don't have to fix it. That was okay because the power curve kept going up slowly. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you one particular card example. All right. Right now, John, have you used the Sadov card? Have
No.
you? Do you know how many playstyles he's got?
I have no idea.
I'll just bear
3,
with me, okay?
Probably.
He's got. I'll just bear with me. The Future Star icon Sadov in game, all right, has the following playstyles. Please bear with me. This is a card, by the way, that is 231,000 coins. He's got the Power Shot Plus. He's got the Finish Shot. He's got the Dead Ball. He's got the Incisive Pass, Intercept, Anticipate, Technical, Rapid for 230k. 230k, he's got that many playstyles, CM, CDM, RM, amazing stats, almost all 80 apart from maybe defense, which you can bump up with a shadow. And does he make any of our squads? No. For 230k. This is a solid card. These are the kind of cards that we used to aspire to a couple of years ago, to try them for a while we wait to get to team of the season, where these cards then become redundant. Right now, we have a huge influx of cards that don't even make our teams. I'll be honest with you, I packed on the first day of Future Stars. Look, I sound like a whinging so-and-so, but I'm being really frank and honest. I packed Sadov and Petit, right? And I haven't played much. I just played champs. I didn't want to use them in champs because I just wanted to get my wins and move on. And I didn't want to experiment. I knew a set way to get my wins. I didn't want to experiment because I know my team that I have currently is a God squad, and these guys will not be an improvement on that God squad. Sure, I can try it. If I'm playing a couple more games on rivals, whatever, I can try them on. But if I was playing squad battles or whatever, I can try them on. I wasn't. I just wanted to get in the game and get out of the game. These cards don't even feature. This year, you peel it back to the start of the year. You remember when Hullet, the base Hullet, was like about 4 or 5 million coins at the start of the year? And then they came up with Centurion Hullet. I'm talking about October, when the game just released. When base Hullet was about 4 or 5 million, they came out with Centurion Hullet. And we were all thinking, oh my goodness, they're getting Hullet in a promo pack right now. Wonder if it's going to be a cheaper version of Hullet. No, it wasn't. It was a more expensive version of Hullet that we can still, most of us can still not get into our squads. But we all have a Hullet in our squads. We all have a Mbappe in our squads. We all have a Eusebio in our squads, which is great. But where to from here? The next upgrade is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 million coins. And the problem is, even if you do have the coins, this is one thing I keep talking, even if I have 15 million coins, I don't think I'll be comfortable in going out and upgrading an Mbappe card or an R9 card, because they could crash at the click of a button. So what's the next move, EA? Can someone from EA, a spokesperson, come and explain to us what we're supposed to be doing with this game right now, with our squads right now?
Well, you spend those 50 million coins on store packs, which you get in your loyalty stores. There's 700k packs now available,
true.
So you can just spend it there.
That's true.
I 100% agree with your points there, right? Like this promo and also the last promo, they just didn't fit for me because there's no improvements available unless I spend whatever, how much. And even then, is it worth it? I don't know. And That's basically the issue. Like, they're pretty cool SPCs, but during the whole Team of the Year stage, and I thought I might be spoiled, but I'm not even the only one. During the whole Team of the Year stage, a Team of the Year card would make my team. Anything else, not worth even trying. Sawa, nice card, not getting in my team, right? So that was sort of the promotion, like open pack, not no Team of the Year hit. Lost promo. Next promos, it needs to be really good to get in my team. Seedorf is an awesome card. Normally that would be like at least 1 million coin player.
Yep.
Not getting in teams, because why not? Well, we had the Gullits, we had the Zidane, so why would people replace them? We have Sawa, would people replace them? I doubt that. Spending coins on a player is super, super risky, like you said. So what I do is I just use my coins to buy provision packs later on and spend them. And like, I think I've got 50k and I'm not even bothered about my coin balance at all.
So,
but then again, Virgil's would be my next upgrade. 15 million, if even on the store, 30 million, something like that. Well, that's not going to happen this year. So it is what it is. Also, I do think this shows how careful you have to be with curating a power curve. And don't forget, we were complaining a lot during the first 3-4 weeks of this game that there was nothing to grind for, to spend fodder on. They changed that. Now we're at a point where, there's nothing left for us to grind for. And that's also the reason why this promotion sort of feels flat, because who cares about a 90 rated defender when you already have your top icons in? Who cares about a cool AC Milan striker, which is pretty cool, but normally we see him every single match. Now we won't probably see him anywhere, maybe once in a while, because who's going to replace Eusebio? Douglas. Douglas is on my bench, which is infuriating, to be honest, right? It just doesn't make sense. I feel spoiled, but like I said, I'm not the only one. So am I bored because the gold squad? I think that's the topic we wanted to discuss. Well, sort of proud. But the biggest thing is, and I'm going to put this addressing to EA, if you want to get me a store which is customized to what I would like to need, well, you have to put in Team of the Years, because I don't need anything else currently. And I have even if it's a business expense for me, I wouldn't know why I would be spending, if that makes sense, to grind forward to hopefully get a new SPC that does make my team, if that would make a difference. I packed a 90 rated best, 93 best I was building. I packed a 90 in a gamble. Compare those, like a 1-2 difference. Like, am I actually going to spend 1 million to grind out this SPC, or should I keep the 90 rate because it's a sub anyways? You know what? Just leave it there. It's fine. I'll just keep the 90 rated as a sub. Doesn't matter too much anyways. Like,
exactly. So one of the things as well, I've sat back and I've analyzed EA. EA doesn't stumble upon things. Things have probably been curated and actually thought about. Maybe they were thinking about all this sort of stuff with the market and the way it's going a couple of years ago. One of the things that really is shocking me, and which is very true, is there's a lot of people around Team of the Year who probably had 2.5, 3 million coins, and the team was exactly how we're talking, was decent enough. And there's a lot of people that spent 2.5, 3 million coins on packs. All right. You compare that with actual money and you think that's fair play. Well done. That's much better than spending real money. But then just think about how we're actually engaging with these hard-earned coins that we're talking about. They're becoming as meaningless as anything, because if your next aspiration is 15 million coins and you have 5 million coins, it's not even something that you can actually quantify. 5 million feels like nothing. So what would you do? You just go ahead and get free about opening those store packs with the hope of packing an amazing icon in one of those triple icon packs, or an amazing whatever. At least I've got some loans to keep myself content with. And that's something that we're all being okay with. And eventually, what I feel we're being programmed to do is try and part our ways to actually consider trying tradable cards, because firstly, we can't pack tradable cards because there's no tradable packs available apart from maybe those few champs rewards and maybe the rivals if you choose the tradable cards and marquee matchups with are pretty low packs. Apart from that, there's no tradable packs. So the supply is less. Your chances of packing something is really less.
The future Twinkle Stars are twinkle little star packs are tradable. It's
You're
5
right.
cards, but they're tradable.
Correct. That's 5 cards. That's 5 cards. And I know
6 cards. You get 1 bonus card. 6 cards.
Look, I think from a similar kind of pack, Brando from one of our friends at NBFT, he actually packed a Matthias Team of the Year icon in those packs. So it does work if you're lucky enough. I'm not saying it doesn't work. So 1 in a million will pack something great, which is brilliant. But if you peel it back, we're all being programmed to have untradeable teams. We're all being programmed to think about coins as an avenue to open packs with. And I've not even joking, I've heard 2 podcasts in the past couple of weeks who've discussed this extensively, where they spoke about they probably needed to have more coins, keep those coins open, available so they can open them, use those coins to open packs during Team of the Year. What is happening to us? We're all thinking this is okay behavior. This is such, if you spoke to any of us 2 years ago, we would laugh at the concept of opening store packs with coins. And here we are.
It's nice though if you see a little blue bar with a star saying, "Especially for you." I know. I think we all agree, right? For me, someone that sucks at trading, for me, someone that feels absolutely horrible after spending coins on a player to buy, and even like I bought Van Persie in week 1. I sold him week 2. He tripled in price week 3. I still feel bad about that. Although I don't really care about it. But it doesn't even, like, I suck at having value in my club, which can diminish by using something. I think that goes against building your ultimate team because you want to play those players. So over the past 3 years, I've just completely went into, you know what? Don't want to trade. Just spend my money. Don't even have to think about having the goalie balance because it only makes me nervous. I just want to use players, make them untradeable, get SBCs done, and use that team. This year, that way works out perfectly and makes you able to have a good team. And then you pack some nice untradeable cards as well, because I do think the untradeable way makes it so they put in higher rated players in untradeable packs, because nothing gets hurt by giving you a 95 Zidane or a Pele out of a pack, right? It doesn't add value to the store, it doesn't add value to the market, nobody gets hurt by it, etc., etc. So for me, gameplay-wise, team-wise this year, it works out. Never had a better team. But I'm also at the point, like, I'm not sure what to do. And I like playing, so I'll grind my way up to elite. That's my targets, right? But I'm keeping myself busy with doing that, and not because I get rewarded from something. And I'm not even a player that plays for rewards, which makes it even harder to realize, I think, the other side. If you do, how are you going to do? Like, the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the way people talk about gambling. Oh, do a gamble pack, just spend 20 euros, do a gamble pack. Like, that sounds, if you don't even need them, like, that's the problem. These people usually have to already have gold squads, to spend another 20 to see if we can get something fun out of it. That feels a little bit
exactly
a bit weird, but I'm not saying it's going to change though. And well, I, for someone, wouldn't mind if there actually were players in the store. I've talked about that before with you, I think. For us, or for me, time-wise, for spend, because it's a business, would make way more sense than opening packs and hopeful to get something.
Look, it's quite evident we're going there. I'll give an example of, we have Adam in the chat who's mentioned that he's packed Team of the Year Obudov and then packed tradable Future Stars Icon Petty. So he's got about 2 million coins. And he's got a stacked team like the ones we were mentioning with the Eusebios and all that jazz. Where does he go from here? If he wants a Cruyff, for example, if he wants the premium Cruyff, he's looking at 6.4 million. If he's looking for the base Cruyff, he's looking at 2.7 million.
But that's an upgrade for his team.
I think Cruyff is still, I do like Cruyff. I do like a Cruyff. That's one card that I usually always enjoy. At some point, usually Hullet and Cruyff, but I already have the Hullet, even though it's a defensive one. I will get Cruyff at some point. But going back to the point, it's just there is no way that someone like Adam, who's got 2 million worth of coins based on his backlog, can do anything with. And like you said, I think the next stage to this evolution is having cards in the store that we can use our coins to buy directly, or even better, either do you want to spend 2 million coins, or would you like to spend $30 or $40 or $50 or $100?
Yeah. I'm quoting Shaq here. Maybe you know him. He said to me, almost a perfect storm for EA to say, screw coins, just buy the cards you want to use when you want to use, and it will seem like it's the better economic decision.
That's exactly right. You've literally stolen the words out of my mouth. That's exactly what EA will do. And you know what? At some point, we'll all have to sit back and think, that's just easier. Let's just go ahead. Screw trying to make coins. Screw trying to trade our way through doing stuff. And let's just go and just buy the card rather than doing these gamble packs.
Awesome. We'll see. We'll see soon enough. I don't think we'll have to wait until the summer, if I'm quite honest. We'll see there. But we got some standing question though. Sorry, go ahead.
I have one final question for you, John. Who's the one card that you would love at the start of the game, like the best card that you would like to start at the game? R9
R9.
or R9?
Yeah,
Yep.
R9, yeah.
How much would you be willing to pay for an R9? Forget it being a business expense. Think of it being like just put the normal John, the not the foot coaching John, just the normal John. How much would you be willing?
That's a hard one to mention. Like if it would be like back in the days when it was my work and it would be available for like, I don't know, $250, euros, whatever. I'd consider it, if I'm honest. As a business expense, I would instantly do it for $250.
Well, okay. What about 1,000 euros?
Nah, I think that
it's going to last you an entire year, John, all the way from the start of the year.
100% true. But the risk with these things is you buy them once, which makes perfect sense. If it's like, I know pro teams that spend way more than that to get a team going to qualify because you have to be there from early season. The problem is though, not only that it goes away at the end of the year, of course, but they might release a new Ronaldo next week. That's something they've done this year by saying we don't do babies. Like I know people that were very happy saying, "Oh, we don't have baby icons anymore, middle icons and team like end icons." But at least you know where you're getting into.
Yep.
And now it's like, hey, new problem. We have footies or we have future stars, and there's icons. Like, what? There's a new version of the card I already have, which I might have spent €1,000. That's why I would not go there too early, if I'm honest.
Very good point. Very good point. I didn't think of that, but that's a very good point. Because
even as a business expense, I would be like, does this one make sense? If it might devaluate in 6 weeks, business-wise, no. If that gets you on a pro tournament and you get sponsors in and you'll be certain you'll be there, that would be an instant buy. Yeah. So there's a little bit of nuance there, but yeah, I can definitely see like €99 for a icon player to start of the year, and tradable people buy it 100%.
But what if it's a $99 icon pack where you can choose 3 icons? A pick rather, and you can choose from 3 icons, and there's a pool, like there's the Cruyff, there's the R9s, but there's also like a best, and there's like a Sawa and those kind of things.
I think we'll see those experiments coming up, and we already see that by giving us daily Campbell SBCs on icons already. They'll see soon enough, like, this when we do 87 rated and include base, people don't do it. When we out base and we name it 88 rated plus, which are the same players, people just go ham on it. Yeah. They'll know it. And they'll find out this year, and we'll definitely get that next year. And I am not even saying that's a bad thing as long as those SBCs are there as well.
Yeah.
But they have to be mindful of the power curve. And you can't have... Like, this is the first year where Team of the Year cards are great, but not needed to keep on par with everyone else. Which makes me a little bit worried. Like, Team of the Season has to be 99 rated cards all over. Especially when you have Evolution being 99 already and 92 defenders being tossed out, and 90. Everyone's team is 91 rated currently, right? I mean, that's really early in February.
True.
That's the only thing I like. Not the only thing, but that's the thing I'm definitely worried about. You have to add value somewhere. Coming about adding value, though, there was a question sent in by Bunkai35, and he says, are players without playstyles too heavily penalized? For example, player with over 90 shooting but no finesse shots will finesse like a bronze player, or player without incisive pass will really struggle with through balls. I think that's also where the difference is between the high-rated players and the power curve currently, because they add power to the curve with playstyles now. What do you think, Shaq?
Oh, 100% agree. 100%. These playstyles, look, they're good and bad. Like I've discussed this before. I really enjoy the playstyle pluses because they actually add a completely new dimension to your players. And it's fun. It's really fun. But you get so used to a particular playstyle that it's really hard. For example, I've mentioned this multiple times on the show. In the start of the game, I love the finesse plus playstyle. And it was so much fun. And I just kept using that over and over again. And then since it's been not as effective, I really struggled for a while because I kept trying to do the same finesse shots inside the box and they were not as effective. But I was just, my mind was telling me, just do it, just do it, just do it. And in the start of the game, I used KDB with the incisive pass, and it was so much fun to do those through balls. And then any other midfielder, I could never replicate those through balls. So I had to readjust my game. So those are the negatives, but the positives are it just opens up. Like, I don't know if you've played regular kickoff mode, John, recently. I always catch up with my friends on the week. Every other weekend I catch up with my friends, play kickoff, and there's hardly any players with playstyle pluses, and I keep telling them this is just frustrating. There's this, and whenever you see that yellow thing pop up on a few players, you think, oh yes, I can finally do something fun, because the playstyles are really cool.
True. Kickoff mode is actually pretty cool, especially when you do the 80 of the 95 mode later on, right? Keep all the teams and players equal. I think it's actually a really cool way of seeing how well balanced this game could be, or is at times. We'll talk about finesse shots, by the way, and of course Travellas, they got patched today, at least Travellas did, but they are patched while we are recording the podcast, so you will have to wait until Friday's recording. The show that gets published publicly on Saturday, 6 p.m. UK, for our findings there. But at least it gives me a couple of days to actually test it and show my opinion about it, actually, the results about that. But yeah, playstyles matter. No playstyles on the card means you can't compare it. So people also, I'm just going to raise my hand for a sec. Don't ever text me, message me photos of two players compared with only in-game stats comparison next to them. I see people, he's got 537, but Ronaldo has 510. So this card must be better than Ronaldo. Yeah, but he's not 5'5". He's doesn't have the unique body, and he doesn't have the unique playstyles on him. So don't ever do that. Like, just fine if you do it, but don't message to me, because I'm not saying it tilts me, but it's getting on my nerves. Let's put it like that.
I know exactly what to post in the Discord from going forward, John.
It's just everyone's going to tag me. Yeah. It's all right, though. It's all right. No, I'm kidding. Of course, you can definitely send it, but I don't think those comparisons go anymore because of the playstyle, mostly. Maybe on old gen, though, because...
well, let's not even talk about old gen. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
All right. Simon asks, who are the best 3 goalkeepers in the game right now?
Can I have a go?
Yeah, sure.
Shaq, Casillas, and Yashin. They're
decent.
Horrendous. They're horrible. They're just such good shot stoppers. It really triggers me. These 3 keepers really trigger me. Van der Sar is good, but doesn't give me as much. But these 3, Yashin, Shaq, Casillas, mainly Casillas and Yashin. Shaq, I think the team of the year one is pretty good, but the other 2, they're just horrible.
Yeah, my answer was officially Casillas, and Iker.
Oh, right.
But so I use Casillas. I've used Yashin. I tossed him in an SBC. He's all right. He's definitely good. But hey, I'm not going to replace Casillas because the insanely fast saves, no one can come with that. I do think that Van der Sar might be, if I would pack Van der Sar, I'd probably switch him around. But yeah, there's not much different. I do like the Alisson Team of the Year card, if I'm quite honest. I don't have the luxury to get him. But he's one of those. But he's very similar in the way he plays like Casillas as well. So I'm not spending to get him, but he's definitely one to put on your list, I think.
Just out of curiosity, would you be willing to spend 450, 500k on a goalkeeper if you had the coins?
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, because basically I wouldn't be able to improve my team anywhere else. And I would just, like, if that's the only player in reach, why not? I'm not very much against. I'm one of those players that buys a Van der Sar early on, like as soon as I can. Like I get a striker on top, I get Van der Sar and Virgil and back, make sure it's everyone. Like I'll build my team around players that I don't need to replace anytime soon. And this year I've been extremely lucky with the SBCs that came out that fit in, and the players I packed actually as well. Like Casillas I packed, so there's no reason for me to ever consider another goalkeeper, I think.
Yeah.
That helps, but it's also a little bit boring.
Fair
What else
enough.
about? We got some tactical questions. Not sure we can go into depth of all of them, but Simon Fujiyama sends in the questions and send this. I'll just let you answer it first. What's the best formation for a quick, direct tiki-taka play? Is it 4-1-2-1-2 narrow or surprisingly a different formation?
Look, I think majority of the formations, even I use a 4-4-2. And in the 4-4-2, I'm able to do tiki-taka as well. You need certain pockets of space, and you can get those pockets of space based on how you actually put up the instructions and the kind of players you have. I'm able to do that. Like a wing it'll come to one of my midfielders making a run, give it back to one of the strikers, and the midfielder that's making a run goes back in. And it's a lot of plays that happen there. So a 4-2-2 that I'm yet to try, your 4-2-2 that I've got ready to go. I will be trying that from today after they finish the podcast. We're trying the 4-2-2. There's a whole lot of tiki-taka I remember last year with the 4-2-2. So there's multiple formations you can do, but I think the 4-1-2-1-2 would be the tiki-taka of godsend tiki-taka in that particular formation. But it's one of those formations where I find if I play a 4-1-2-1-2 or 4-3-1-2, mainly 4-1-2-1-2, I have to keep playing tiki-taka. I can't really expand the play much because it's all focused on just doing that. So yeah, that's why I struggle with it sometimes.
Yeah, just my 2 cents, you need to be able, if you want to play a style like this, to trigger runs yourself. So I want to get players towards you, I want to send them away from you, else you won't be able to maintain it. It's very easy to be countered in a narrow formation this year. So it sounds all fun being something like tiki-taka, but if you lose the ball, you might just get through ball spammed and lose. So it has not even got my preference to try to play like that this year. Although I quite like the play style it sort of states, right? So I think it's a risky formation, but a risky setup. But yeah, I think anyone can play it like that. Any formation can do, but a narrow formation makes it a little bit easier. What's the best attacking team instruction for it? Do you think it's possession, direct passing, or anything else?
I've stuck to direct passing for majority of the year. I know a lot of people, there's a section of the community that really doesn't like the word direct passing for whatever reason, but it works for me. I've enjoyed direct passing last year, this year as well. That works for me, and I haven't really tinkered with it too much.
I agree. Most of my formations have direct passing on it. If I need someone to get close, I'll trigger them back. Possession is just too slow.
Yeah,
really too slow. There are players that can make it work, but you have to use a very high depth. So that's risky as well. Like we know Archom, of course, check out his YouTube channel. He has set up like attacking formation that have possession, and that works really well. But he's also a very good player. I think that does help. So I would go for direct passing most of the time, or even balanced.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think is the difference between a target player and a come short instruction?
Look, I know it's not talking about the strikers, but I'm talking in the winger sense. Both my wingers in my 4-4-2 have a come short, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Like it really engages them to come back and pull the ball, makes them flow around a little bit close to the center circle to try and pull the ball. They can come in the middle. It really works for me. But as a target player, I didn't get the same results when I used the instruction of a target player. I didn't get the same results. It just didn't feel as good to me. But come shot really works for me on the wings.
Yeah, it's preference. I think the biggest difference is come short. They will come towards you. I usually do that by triggering the run towards me with R1, ticking R1 once. And I look at my opposition before I make my play. So I play a little bit different as well. I mostly focus on seeing what the opponent does and build my play around that instead of forcing my play into my opponent. That makes sense? but I'm also probably playing very much above my actual level, so I need to. so I can't really say this is definitely better. Target man, I just really don't like in this game because it's too easy to get tackled from behind. Therefore, you get the ball. You would say, hey, I got a big guy, use the shield jockey and keep the ball. It's really hard to do right this year. So I find that a little bit risky.
But have you tried this? While you're talking, I just suddenly thought of, how about if you have a target man instruction on someone that's got the first touch playstyle plus, like with that magnet, like George Best or Harry Kane striker.
Still gets runs off the ball, right? The first touch is better, but still gets runs off the ball. You want someone with maybe something like shielding or something. But
True.
You actually want the big players like Haaland to get the ball, use the body to hold up the play. That's what a target man does.
Correct.
And then get people running forward, lay the ball back and go in those openings. We have the players for it, but they can't really do it consistently, because if a Virgil or a Maldini just runs in behind, times the tackle right, they just either body him off the ball or they can't do the first touch really well. They have to go back 1-2 meters, which means they don't hold up the play and everyone just runs offside. So I don't think target man is really... I have not seen it work properly yet, and I like the play style normally, but it's just, I don't think it's especially good this year.
Fair enough.
But hey, prove me wrong. Send in the messages, just at FUT Coaching anywhere, and I will definitely be able to correct it if you think it does work. Because we don't have all the knowledge, we just have a lot of experience with it. I think that's the biggest thing. Shaq, anything to add, my friend? I think we went to all the questions.
I think that's pretty much all I had, John. I think this weekend league was good fun. Well, fun. The same 11 wins. I wish I could easily, comfortably get to 11-0. That'll be the day I can retire from this game. But that's the grind that keeps us going.
Then I hope you never make it, my friend. I love you, but I don't want to see you leave because you made 11 wins.
11-0. 11-0 is the goal. It's going to happen. It's going to happen one day. 11-0.
I know you can do it, but if that means your retirement, I'm very much against it.
No, because it's just one of those things where it's really it sounds so simple to people that get 14, 16. 11-0 should be hard. It shouldn't be that hard, but trust me, it's just 11-0. It's been my dream for the past 2 years. Just never can make it.
Well, I know a company that probably can help you, so I'll send them.
Sounds good.
Check out futcoaching.com, of course, futinreview.com, and check us out at FUT Coaching on all socials. That leaves us with one thing left to do, and that's to say thank you very much. We'll see you Friday, and it's time for us to drop it.
Drop it.
FUT. FUT.